spring? Just kind of a overall evaluation of how you guys are looking.
I thought we had a really good spring. We saw what we needed to see. Got a lot of work in. I think we got a lot of young guys that needed to get reps, and they got those reps during spring. And so we just got to build off that going into summer. But I'm really happy coming out of spring. We got a couple guys that are pretty green, I should say, and then they need to come back in summer and continue to get those reps. So, but overall, I thought it was good.
Your offense, every quarterback had at least one scoring drive, had some success. That had to be good to see as a whole. Obviously Austin's a starter. Austin's kind of earned that, but your other quarterback showed some good things today too.
Yeah, they've done a good job. We got a couple guys that really battle and compete, and I thought they moved the ball well and had good presence in the pocket. Everybody threw a nice ball when it was their turn. And defense made it easy for us today, though. They kept it simple, so it should have been an offensive day. But it's good to see the quarterbacks got in there and moved the ball down the field. And again, in the summer, we'll let those guys keep competing through fall camp.
How do you assess the defense on a day like that? As you just said, obviously they're kind of limited with what they can do. How did you assess what they did overall? I know they didn't get any turnovers, but they had some pass deflections, had some breakups, had some good plays, but obviously they're kind of restricted.
Yeah, again, they kept it pretty vanilla. So, but I thought they did a good job. Everybody played their assignments and their techniques well. Had one or two busts. You saw the long run there. We had a bust on that. But, for what they were asked to do, they were at a little bit of a disadvantage today, I would say. But they did a good job as well.
I just wanted to hit on a couple of your quarterbacks, too. Obviously, we've seen what Austin can do, and Caden, too. We know him. And Barron's a new kid. Just kind of give me your evaluation of him, and obviously your nephew, and Willie, too.
Yeah, Bronson's come in, older guy. He's done a nice job. Caden Belkamp, this is his second year. I thought he had a really good spring. Turner's now, this is his first spring, and he's done some really good things. And then Willie, he's the new guy, and I thought he's done a really nice job, just coming in right now. A lot of those guys, they've had a lot more time than he's had. So I'm looking forward to him going through the summer and all those things. But, those guys need to continue to get reps like everybody else. Austin obviously is pretty polished and dialed in. We got to get those other ones where they're game ready. But I've been pleased all spring with them.
You could see the athleticism and the ability to make plays off of things with Willie, particularly that touchdown drive of his. That had to be nice to see.
Yeah, it was good. He keeps plays alive really good, and he can create. I thought all the quarterbacks today, they did a nice job moving around and trying to create. But, for the limited time he's been here, he's done a really nice job.
Coach, a lot of potential playmakers. Just talk about just the depth.
Yeah, offensively, the normal names, Malachi Corley, Mike Matheson, Dalvin Smith, those are kind of the guys jump at you. Thought the running back core is pretty solid. Any one of those guys could play for us. We got 4 solid running backs there. Thought all of them did a nice job today. LT Sanders was out. We just held him out. He could have played. He had a hand injury that he'll be fine in a couple of weeks. But defensively, really, really young, really green when I talk about reps and those kind of things. Yeah. But, a couple of the young linebackers, RJ Evans and Anthony Brackenridge. And, I look over there and, the new D lineman, Nate, has done a really nice job for us. But this summer is going to be big for our defense, just because it's a lot of new faces, a lot of new guys. And, again, we got to get those guys going when they're game ready.
Where are you? Obviously, as a coach, there's always room for improvement. But where do you feel you are as you wrap it up? How much do you feel like you grew as a team?
We definitely grew. I like where we are, what we accomplished coming out of spring, but we got a long way to go. We got a lot of work ahead of us. Again, the summer is huge. Fall camp is huge. Portal just opened back up. We can maybe add some more depth there and some spots where we need it. I think that can help. We may have another 6, 7, 8 guys that show up, during fall camp that wasn't here during spring that might be able to help us. Think back last year to Derek Smith. Derek wasn't able to come in until summertime and all those kind of things. He was an impact player for us. So we got a couple of depth spots, particularly defensively get some bodies there. But other than that, I like where we're at.
What are your thoughts on the new CUSA should be playing over the first time?
Yeah, I'm excited about it. I think it's going to be competitive as all get out. I mean, obviously Liberty coming in. I think of a New Mexico State top 30 defense. They found their quarterback kind of halfway through the season, had a big bowl win. I think they'll make a run at it. Jacksonville State is always competitive. And then, you look at the La Techs. We got to go to La Tech. We got to go to UTEP. Got to go to FIU. Our first 4 games are going to be extremely hard. Open up with South Florida. That offense, we better be in good shape. Their defense is beautiful. Todd Orlando was a defensive coordinator at FAU for the last game. So right out of the gate, that's a tough one. Go to Ohio State. That's coming up. That's always a tough one. Then got to go to Troy. So we got our hands full.
Coach Chaney's brought to the program?
What's that?
Coach Chaney.
He's done a tremendous job. All the new coaches have done great. A lot of those guys come from good programs. Experience. They've gotten a lot of experience there. I think they've made immediate impacts. I've replaced majority of my staff, to be quite honest with you. I only had 3 guys that were with me last year that stayed. Everybody else went to the Power 5 or NFL. But all those new guys that have come in have done a great job. Great job.
Just jumping back to this game too, I thought the running backs featured pretty heavy in this one, and Marquise and Elijah particularly popped from what I saw.
Yeah, they both did a really good job. Marquise is a physical back, as you can tell. He just wants to run over you every chance he gets, and I like that. Each one has just a little bit different skill trait. Elijah has come in and done a really good job. He's hard to tackle in space. And then you look at Davion, he's our guy that, he's just so solid. He can do everything. LT's that flash guy, low center of gravity. He's got tremendous power, good runner. So I like our running back core overall. I think they'll be pretty solid.